Hi, I'm Tim Pallin. I'm Paddy Pallin's grandson and Managing Director of Paddy Pallin. We've put together a series of stories about our company and its history. We hope very much that you enjoy them. Over the history of our company, from our inception in 1930, camping gear obviously has changed dramatically. Back in that time, we were almost exclusively making our own product. Everything was built by Paddy and Oliver and Dad. So it was and very much based out of canvases. Japaras came along after a time, but there were really no major changes in that sort of technology for many years. So, and you probably remember more of some of those first initial changes.
Well, some of the changes, but the first rucksacks that Dad made were based on the Norwegian rucksacks, which were really designed for skiing, where the weight is low, and so your weight is so you've got better balance for skiing, and that's the old A-frame rucksack. And they were originally cane frames, and people would come in to buy a rucksack. They'd be measured up. The cane frame would be made to fit them exactly, and then a week later they'd pick up their rucksack with the cane frame, and then that became uneconomic, and steel frames became the thing, and there were two sizes of steel frames, one for ladies, one for men, and that went on for a while. And then there weren't many great changes for a long while, and then synthetics started coming in. Terylene was the first, and we moved to make a terylene tent, which worked reasonably well, but it didn't have the long life of the old Japara tents and the waterproofness of the old Japara tents. But the big change was when Gore-Tex came in, Gore-Tex jackets. And we used to, I'm not sure of the exact amounts, but we used to sell an oilskin jacket for about $15. And we had to sell a Gore-Tex jacket for $80. I remember Dad saying, no one's going to spend $80 for a jacket when they can buy an oilskin jacket for $15. But an oilskin jacket sort of kept you dry. It kept you dry for the first couple of hours. If you walked in the rain for 2 or 3 days, you got wet. Whereas the Gore-Tex worked, and people suddenly were paying $80 for a jacket rather than $15.
It was the first time we actually had a fabric to work with that was completely waterproof in that time, and the breathability, which in its early days was still fairly marginal, was a dramatic improvement over, a fully waterproof and unbreathable fabric.
It was also the first fabric that was specifically made for the outdoor industry, which I think was a major step. But before that, with the Japara, you specified what you wanted, but it was just made as a cloth, and you then had to, you had to specify what you wanted, and there was no production of materials specially for the outdoor industry, whereas these days there's a range of materials that are being specially made for the outdoor industry, and I think that's a big step. It's because the industry has grown so dramatically, especially in Europe and America, that this can now happen.